Okay, here we have an instructional video of how to assemble and use your eGo-C, C as in changeable. This is a tank system that we have, so let's open up on the box. We have your instruction manual, which hopefully you won't need after watching this video. We have your two assembled units. We'll get into that in a second. Let's just go through what's in the kit itself. Going to open up this tray. It's going to reveal your attention. And this is attention in case you have a 510 kit. If you do have a 510 batteries, never put them on an eGo charger. If you do have a 510, you're going to notice that the chargers look identical. So if you do have those in your household, make sure to mark this as a eGo charger. And it does say it very small on the back of these two. You may not be able to see that there. It's very easy to use one of these as far as the charger goes. What you do is you just take the battery, you screw it on clockwise, and while it's plugged into any USB connection or the wall charger, once it's screwed on in there, you don't have to over tighten it. It'll go to red and it'll charge. It takes about an hour or so to charge one of these, so not too bad. Once it's charged, it goes back to green, lets you know. Sometimes when they're charging, they'll go back and forth, red, green, nothing wrong with that. But once it goes to green, you know it's fully charged. All right, that tells you how this works here. You have your atomizer heads. You have 5 of them in this kit, which is really nice. It should last you a little bit of time there before you need to buy replacements. Replacements do come in 5 packs there. And then, of course, you have the empty cartridges that you're looking at. These empty cartridges are pretty easy to fill. Last but not least, you have your wall charger itself, USB connection there. What's nice, it does have the LED light on there. That LED light is kind of nice to know that this exact unit here is working. It's really good if you're ever doing troubleshooting. You may have some difficulty with your battery, whatever it might be there. So now let's get into actually assembling one of your eGo-Cs here. Take this package and just break this open and get one of these atomizer heads out of the package, and then we're going to show you how you are going to prime that, and you're going to put it onto your e-cig itself. So with the Joyetech, I'm going to take one of these out. They are not fully assembled. It's missing its atomizer head, and I am going to unscrew this from the battery, take the battery and put it over there, and I'm now going to unscrew these two pieces. They come apart like so. This is the section that you're actually going to put the atomizer head on. Before we do that, it's important to note that we should prime the atomizer head. This is not in the recommendations, but from using e-cigarettes, it is something that you definitely want to do. What we're doing is we're guaranteeing that the wicking within the atomizer head has liquid on it. Sometimes, in very few cases, what will happen is for some reason it doesn't feed that liquid properly, and just in a few seconds of it working without liquid, it can burn out the atomizer or just damage it to the point where the system's still working, it's just not working well. We want to avoid that. How we do that is you take that atomizer head, you should have it out of the packaging now, and you're going to look down into that hole. You're going to see white little wicking. So just simply take a needle tip bottle is really handy for this, folks, and just put a drop right there on the tip. Now, what you can do is on the bottom end here is a air hole. Bring this up towards your mouth and kind of close. You don't have to, put it to your lips, and just inhale inward. And as you're inhaling inward, you're forcing that liquid in a little bit. Usually this only takes like 2 drops, and then you put one more drop right on there. Once we've done that, now we are going to put it on the base that we were just showing you there. So here we have the base. Now don't kill it or force it in there, because it just kind of sets there. What's going to happen is this top end is going to feed it and properly seat it between the units. So we do have it that way. So there you go. So now it's on there. Really easy to do. The next step is to actually put it on the battery itself. So now we're going to put it on the battery. Here I have the battery. I'm just going to screw it on this way. Now that I have had it screwed on the battery, I'm now going to take a cartridge and I'm going to fill it on up. So with the cartridge, you actually take this end of the cartridge and you're going to see that there's a hole right there. They say that you actually pop this piece on, off, I recommend using a needle tip bottle because it goes right into the hole right there and you fill it on up. As you can see, I've already filled this cartridge, make this video a little bit quicker. Now all I have to do is seat this on in here. Now be very, very careful. On here you're going to notice that, see how it's not completely seated? This is one of the largest mistakes made on this unit here. What happens if we start running this unit and that's not completely seated? We've seen how small that atomizer head is, that syringe portion of it is. So with that just off, that's like off 50%. So it's going to feed only 50% of the liquid. It's going to overheat the system. It's not going to give you vapor. It's going to cause all kinds of problems. So my technique is hand in hand, click it in place. Just that simple. Now we know that it's nice and flush. So there you go with that. The last thing to do is make sure your unit's on. I'm pushing a button. I can see it's on. If you push your button right now and there's no light, click it 5 times as quickly as you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's either going to turn on or off. I've just turned this unit off. Now, you can start using the unit, but I do want to show you something that's really nice with all, not necessarily the eGo-C kit, all eGo-C batteries, because this battery is also furnished on the eGo kit. How you know that is, it says eGo-C upgrade. If it's an upgrade battery, it has a hidden feature to it. It has what's called a higher variable voltage mode. So you can go between the two modes with this battery only in the off position. So right now I'm going to double check. Okay, my battery's off. So push your button. If your button lights up, click it 5 times as quickly as you can to turn it off. All right, you've turned off your battery. Now push and hold the button for as long until you see a light. We're looking at that little button. There, did you see that light go off, folks? That was a blue light. Now I already know what that means. Blue light means it's gone into regular voltage. So now I'm going to turn it on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I'm going to look at it, and this battery is giving me a white color, like a white bluish color. Now this is interesting. In the regular mode, which is 3.7 volts, the white color, if it's almost fully charged, it's at white. When it gets to about 50% or so, it gets light blue. When it's a real dark blue, that's 10% or less of the battery life. This is your traditional that they've really been running these batteries for a very long time. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it into the higher voltage mode. It's very easy to do. I'm going to click it 5 times and turn it off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know it's off. I just double checked it. Now I'm going to push and hold. There it goes. Now if you notice, it's more of a yellowish amber light that went off there. And I'm going to show you that. I'm going to now click it on because this can only be done in the off position, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now if you notice, folks, see how that's kind of like a yellowish light? That's the higher variable voltage mode. Sorry to sound confusing on that, but I want to be very specific on this. If it's a fully charged battery, it is at 4.2. But, however, with this, and that's the higher voltage, 3.7 is regular, 4.2 is higher. This can give a lot of people's impression as more vapor, so it's nice to play between the two. On this battery that you have right here, with that higher voltage, when it starts getting down and getting close to the ending of its battery life, the battery itself will start going back to its original 3.7 voltage to make sure to give you as much energy as long as needed. So you'll notice if you tend to run in the higher voltage mode all the time, right towards the end, before the battery's going to die and need a recharge, you're going to notice that that vapor doesn't feel as strong to you. So it's a nice hidden feature within these batteries. Great Joyetech made. So that's pretty much how to put it together, how much to use it. The last thing that we really want to touch on here is, of course, possible leakage. With these systems right here, it is very important that you never let your cartridge get below 10%. If you let it get below 10%, it's going to promote massive leaking, and it is hidden in some of the instructions manuals. I know it's definitely in the E-Cab because that's a tank model. I'm not sure if it's in the eGo-C, but so 10%. My rule of thumb, keep it at 50% or better. It's so easy to retop these things off. You just pop it off like this, you stick your little bottle in, whoop, and you're good to go. I have found from all of my customers, people who keep it at like that 50% or more, they have almost no issues with leakage ever. So that's one of the things that you have there. As far as the leakage goes, if you have your cartridge that does wear out, that's going to create a little bit of leakage, and that's just the friction from the metal to the plastic, in, out, in, out. That'll cause that. But in a nutshell, I think that pretty much handles everything for the eGo-C. If you have additional questions, please feel free to email me at any time, and that's of course Shawn at zeecigs.com. Well, that's the eGo-C, folks.